Yeah, greetings of the day. So, on this day, in this video, you're going to learn built-in services in AngularJS, a comprehensive overview of 30 built-in services. If possible, we'll have a single video for the all the 30 services, but if it will not be possible, then we are going to divide this particular concept into 2 or 3 videos. Let's start. So core services we are having $HTTP service, $Q, $timeout, $interval, $window, $document, $log. So let us see what is this $HTTP first. The $HTTP service is in AngularJS is a core service that provides functionality to make HTTP requests like get, post, put, and delete. Totally four. You can add some more. To communicate with it with the server, we require these four methods. It is widely used for fetching data from APIs, sending data to servers, and performing CRUD operations, CRUD, create, read, update, and delete operations. So let us go in depth regarding AngularJS HTTP service. So AngularJS HTTP service will be having four different types, that is get, post, put, and delete operations. In order to do that, this is what the structure that we have. We can see at the right hand side, we are having $HTTP method, which method you want to implement, either the get method or post method or delete method or put method, whatever it is, which method you want to do. Then URL on which URL is also called as endpoint of communication in this particular aspect. Then we have data that you want to either send or receive, whatever it is. Headers, we want to send any headers as part of the packet. Then we are going to implement the function call, that is on success of a callback function. What is the response you want to do? When it is an error, what is the response you want to do? So this is somewhat structure of the basic syntax of that HTTP $HTTP service. So let us see one example program for each, that is for get, post, put, and delete operations one after another. Then we'll move forward to the next slide, that is $Q. Okay, so we'll do this just by opening our notepad and modifying the existing content. So core services we are having $HTTP service, $Q, timeout, interval, window, document, log. So let us see what is this $HTTP first. The $HTTP service is in AngularJS is a core service that provides functionality to make HTTP requests like get, post, put, and delete. Totally four. You can add some more. To communicate with it with the server, we require these four methods. It is widely used for fetching data from APIs, sending data to servers, and performing CRUD operations, CRUD, create, read, update, and delete operations. So let us go in depth regarding AngularJS HTTP service. So AngularJS HTTP service will be having four different types, that is get, post, put, and delete operations. In order to do that, this is what the structure that we have. We can see at the right hand side, we are having $HTTP method, which method you want to implement, either the get method or post method or delete method or put method, whatever it is, which method you want to do. Then URL on which URL is also called as endpoint of communication in this particular aspect. Then we have data that you want to either send or receive, whatever it is. Headers, we want to send any headers as part of the packet. Then we are going to implement the function call, that is on success of a callback function. What is the response you want to do? When it is an error, what is the response you want to do? So this is somewhat structure of the basic syntax of that HTTP $HTTP service. So let us see one example program for each, that is for get, post, put, and delete operations one after another. Then we'll move forward to the next slide, that is $Q. Okay, so We'll do this just by opening our notepad and modifying the existing content. So let us take the structure of this particular page. So we have document type HTML that we have taken from the previous example. So we are having ng app in HTML tag, language is equal to English, head tag, then meta tag, then script tag that is going to have a CDN from AngularJS that is downloaded. So we have the title, head is closed, body started, we have a controller over here. Then here we are having that app. Okay, so let us modify this particular basic structure. This I'm going to use as a basic structure from here onwards. So I want to implement the get method in $HTTP. So let us make this as get app. So get app. So here we write get app. So here angular.module we have changed as well as ng app. So similarly for controller also, we are going to change the name of the controller as get controller. Okay, so get controller inside the body, the intention of writing this one inside the body is to create a button. So I want to create a button which is called as fetch data. When I press that button, the data has to be fetched from a URL. Okay, that is my intention of writing this particular program or application. So I'll increase this app, sorry, body. Here I want to create a particular button. So that button will be having the text called as fetch data. That button will be having the text called as fetch data. So here I'm going to title this one as AngularJS get example, get request example as my title. Okay, so in this body I want to add a h2 tag that is going to say get request. Okay, get a request example. So let me go with this one, h2 tag h2, then I want to close this h2 tag, then I want to write a get request example of h2. Then we want to place a button, so we are going to write the code for button, then we'll be closing that button even. So in between I want to say fetch data. So when I implement this button, when I press this button, the data has to be fetched from a site. That is my intention. So here what we are going to do is we are going to change this button code. So inside the button code, we are going to write ng hyphen click, what it must do when it clicks that particular button. So it has to call the function called as fetch data, which is the function that we are going about to write. Okay, fetch the data, that's it, nothing more than that. Then we want to display some text in a paragraph. So paragraph tag open and paragraph tag close. So in this paragraph we want to display the text, we want to show the text. Okay, when the data is available. If the data is not available, don't display anything. Don't display anything when the data is not there. So before, when we load the page, the data will not be available. So what we need to do here, we need to write a conditional statement. A conditional statement. Just a second, I'm getting disturbance from this web.whatsapp. Just I'll mute this one for a couple of seconds. Okay, now it's well and good. So now in this p tag, whenever the data is available, then only it has to display. So we write ng hyphen if. So this is a conditional show message. Okay, is equal to what we want to do. We want to display the message. Okay, ng hyphen if, what we want to do, we want to display the message. Okay, so what kind of message it is? Simply message we want to display. Okay, and we want to give some style for the tag. Style is equal to color blue. I want to display the text in blue color. Then what I want to display, I want to display the message that I get from my Angular. Okay, that is what we want to do. So this is our front end part. Now let us concentrate on the script part. Okay, where we are going to write this script. So let us start the script tag. Let me close this V over here itself to save some space. So now let us concentrate on script tag. So this is where we are going to start our script. Okay. So here in this script tag, we are having angular.module. Then similarly, we need to write app.controller. Okay. Here we are having get app. So same get app. Then we are having get controller. So we need to create this controller over here. So either you can continue in the same line or you can create a new one. Like, we can use the dollar scope one. So app.controller. So in order to continue that, we need to give variable app is equal to angular dot module. Variable app is equal to angular dot module. For that, we are going to write app dot controller. Then which controller that we have just copied, get controller, comma, it is a function. Then that function is having two aspects. One is dollar dollar session, and the other one is dollar $HTTP for which we are writing the code now. So these two are the arguments. So for this app controller, we need to write the code. Okay. So let us expand this function from here on. Okay. So I hope it is clear now. App.controller, we are having get controller, a function we are writing. Function is getting two values. One is session value and another one is HTTP value. So for this one, we need to create or fetch the data. Okay, so that is what we need to do. So let us make the message as we are working on message, right? So if message, so let me copy this one, then let us make it as a blank one. So dollar scope dot message is equal to nothing inside, sorry, nothing inside. We can write like this or we can also write like this, so empty string. Okay, so we need to fetch the data now. So dollar scope dot fetch data, from where you want to fetch the data, so we need to write a function for that one. So write a function, then opening and closing flower bracket. So now let us write the code for this function called as fetch data. Okay, so we need to load the data from a URL. So we need to know which URL we are having. So we are having one beautiful place called as JSON placeholder. From that we can get the data. Okay, so let me type this one dollar $HTTP dot get. Now that particular URL we need to provide whatever the URL. Then we need to type the and then what I want to do. Okay, I want to implement a function. So I'll write here function that is going to give me response when it is success. So function success response. Okay, so this is a function. So my concentration is now provided on from where I need to provide the data. So which URL. So let us go ahead with the uh, browser. Let us open the browser, then let us search for that particular. So let us go with Google. So I want the URL of type code. Okay, type code one is there in JSON placeholder. JSON placeholder type code. So we are having this one. So JSON placeholder dot typecode.com is the place where we can download. So I can get the users list from here. USERS. So this is the list of users that we have. Okay. So this one data we want to fetch. So just copy this particular JSON placeholder dot type icode.com slash users into our notepad. So I will be pasting it over here. Okay. So success response. So this is our URL as well as when we get the response, what we need to do. So let us write the code here. Okay, so now I want to write the code, what I need to do when I will get a response. So I want to write constant data is equal to JSON dot stringify. JSON dot stringify, STRINGIFY. So what we want to stringify the response dot data, response dot data, comma, whenever we get null, just put. Okay. So now here we are having this particular data in string format. we have to stringify this in JSON format. We have to stringify. In this, we are having ID, name, username, email, address, etc., etc. Okay, so we are getting that particular data. Okay, we are retrieving that data over here. So constant data is finished. Now we want to take the blob. Constant blob is equal to new blob of, I want to receive the data. I want to receive the data, then along with its type. So I write here type colon, sorry, type. What kind of type it is? Application by JSON. What kind of type of data it is? Application slash JSON. This is mine type dot by JSON. So stringify response data null 4. Then we need to provide a semicolon above. Then constant type 5 JSON format, application by JSON. We will be having application by text, application by JavaScript, application by different things. Okay, so here we will provide that one. Then I want to add one link. I want to add one link. Constant link is equal to document dot create. So link is document dot create element. So we are going to create one element A. Then I want to have a hyperlink for that one. Link dot href. I want to create a hyperreference. So URL dot create object URL. Create object URL. So we are going to pause the blob, whatever the type, and we are having create object URL. Let's try and see. So link dot download is equal to get. So we are supposed to provide a file name. So data get underscore data underscore JSON. You can give anything. That is the name of the file. Dot JSON file. Data dot JSON format. Okay. Then give a semicolon over here. Then link dot click. Okay. So link dot click. This is a function call. Then we need to provide the information with dollar scope. Scope dot message. What is the message you want to give? I want to give that the get data saved to get data saved. You can write here get data saved to get underscore data underscore JSON file. Okay. So this is one function that we have finished. You can keep a comma after, yeah, comma after this one. So first closing our bracket, then we have to write a function for error. Function error. So one line code, we need to write dollar scope dot message is equal to you got an error. Okay, so fail to fetch the data. Fail to fetch the data. So that ends this function. Then we are having one more closing our bracket. Then one closing semicolon. So these are the things that we have. Function error. Let us see. I think this was. Let us save this file. I have saved this file as form validation. Let us open the form validation. Form validation. Just a second, let me open my form validation. Yeah, open with Google Chrome. Yeah, we got here form validation. Sorry, just a second. Maximize, man, maximize. Okay. So get request example as it is. We got fetch the data, message is empty message. So fetch the data. We got some mistake somewhere. Just let me check out. So doc type, language, no issue as of now. Script src, html, utf-8 script. Script no issue. AngularJS get request, get controller request. So button ng click, fetch fetch data, fetch data. Fetch data, fetch data. I want to just copy this once again. So fetch data, no issue. Button, message in blue color, message, if message, style, no issue till this part. Maybe there is some issue in script. Just let me check. Variable app is equal to angular dot module dot get app. Get app is completely good. Dollar session, dollar http, dollar scope message is equal to space. Dollar scope fetch data is equal to function. Dollar users dot then function. I know this dot then function success response no spaces, four spaces, good, null, stringify, JSON, i5, new blob, stringify, new blob, data, comma, type is application by JSON. Oh, function success, success. So let us say, let us save this one, then reload. Yeah, reload. Then get request example, fetch the data. Oh, thank God, it worked. Get data saved to get underscore data dot JSON file, and the data is saved and downloaded even. Okay. So let us move to the next one. Okay, now let us continue. The next one that what we want to do is to implement the post operation. Okay, get is finished. Now let us go with the post. So let me keep the ng app as my app. So change the get controller to post. So here also change it to post request example. So fetch data. No, I don't require this message script. Let us remove the stored button code and paragraph as of now. So we'll change this post controller, get controller. Okay, we'll remove this function also. We'll see this later. Okay, so let us concentrate on the front end part. So here we are having post request example. Okay, so the rest is same. We are having the doc type HTML page, then ng app, then script that we have taken as a CDN, then we have this body ng controller. So h2, now let us add form tag such that we have post request example to be implemented using a name label and a email. Okay, then we want to place one button. So let us add a form tag over here. So let me close the form tag for you, slash form. So now let us change the code of this form tag. Okay, so a form tag will be having ng submit. We are going to submit ng hyphen submit. When we submit this form, what must happen? So it must call a function called as submit data function. Okay. So in this form, we are going to add a name, a email, and a button. So let us take a label. Then let us have name, then close the label. This is the simplest way to do. Okay, we can have label for etc etc. So we will be having input type is equal to text, then name is equal to name, model is equal to model, sorry, id is equal to name. You can have all those things. I'm just eliminating this that stuff here. Ng hyphen model is equal to user dot name. Okay, ng hyphen model is equal to user dot name. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So ng hyphen model is equal to user dot name. Okay. Then we say that this field is required. So we write required. Okay. Then we'll keep a br tag, break tag. Then we have one more component that we want to take. So I want to add a email. So label, we want to add email. So the same thing, input type. So let me copy this code. Input type is equal to email, then ng model user dot email. We say this one to be required, this one to be a required one. Okay, then we want to place a button. So we say type is equal to submit. Then we say submit, close the button tag. So close the form tag. So this gives us the front end part. This gives us the front end part. Now let us concentrate on the displaying the information. Let us take a p tag. So we say if the data, if there is some message in the variable called as message, then only we want to display. So we write ng hyphen if the data is available, that is equal to in a variable called as message, then only display this one. So we say style color is equal to style is equal to color colon blue. I want to display the information in blue color, okay, or any other color. So I'm going to give a semicolon even, that is the CSS format. Then we can display the information that is message. So message message, then close the p tag. Here what we are doing is we are displaying the message only when there is some information in the message variable. Okay, so after this we are going to start the script. After this we are going to start the script tag. So the name of the app is my app. So here we have the same my app over here. Sorry. Then here we are having app.controller post controller dot function scope dollar http. That's great, no issue over here in this particular line. Okay, then here we don't have scope dot message is equal to space as it is. Then scope dot, now we don't have fetch data here, we will be having submit data. So here we will be having submit data. So here we have written input type is equal to submit. So we are going to write here form tag. Where is that form tag? Yeah, submit data is a function that we have written over here. So we'll take scope dot submit data is equal to function. So now here we are going to implement the post operation, not the get operation here. So just a second. Yeah. So http dot post, not get here, post. Okay. Then what we have here, http json placeholder, let it be like that only. Then typecode.com slash, here we have users, here we will be having post. Here we have a post. Okay. So typecode.com posts. Can, yeah, posts. Okay, here we are having a URL which is going to have posts. So dollar scope posts, that is the URL that we have. Then we need to pass which one. So we write comma dollar. Okay, just one. There is a confusion in the code. Let me move this code a little back. Yeah. So here we'll be having a dollar. I'll keep press the center at this dot, then we'll see that later. So here we are having dollar typecode.com slash post. Then we have here dollar scope dot user dollar scope dot user. Then we have this then operation to be performed. So if it is success, what we want to do, okay, then so I'm going to give some spaces over here, http dot post, then function success, we want to provide the response. Okay, same as it is, no change. So response is having this constant. Just a second. So let me remove the spaces. Yeah. Okay, let us see this. In this operation, we are going to have JSON.stringify. Same thing, no change as it is. So constant data JSON.stringify is going to convert the JSON format into string format. So here we have response data null 4. 4 means here 4 spaces we are going to consider. Then we are having this constant block, same as it is. New block, then the data bar type application by JSON, same as it is, no change. Then we have constant link document dot create the element anchor tag. Then we have link dot href is equal to URL dot create object URL blob type. Then link dot download, same as it is, no change over here. Link dot download get data dot JSON. So let us change this one to post response. So I'm going to change this get data to post underscore response link dot download post response dot JSON file. Then we have here link dot click, same as it is, no change as per the previous program. Whenever that link is clicked, what it need to do, it has to download that particular page with the message. So post data saved to post underscore response dot JSON file. So let me change this one, post data response. So fail to post. So post data saved. So this one is same as it is. We are having a comma over here. So let it be like that only. Then we have this function over here. Function when we get an error. Then same thing. Dollar scope message failed to submit the data. In other words, post means submit. Post means submit. Then we have this closing parenthesis. Then say flower bracket. That's it. So this is, let us save this data, save this file. Then let us go to our form validation. Let me check whether the screen is sharing. Yes, great. So here let us reload this page. So we got post request example, we got a name, we got email, then we need to press submit button. So let us write the name. I'm writing Dr. Mohammed Ali Shaik. Then I'm pressing my email address ali@sru.edu.in. Then I'm pressing the submit button. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, we got the file. You can see at the right hand side, post response.json file is downloaded, and you got the message as post data saved to the post response.json file. So this information, this file is regarding the post operation that we have performed. So now let us go with the next one, that is we are going to implement the put operation, how to perform the put using $HTTP. Okay, so let us do the changes. So to the existing code where we were implementing earlier post, now we are implementing put. So my app will remain same, script will remain same, CDN. Then let me move this a little bit to the top. Okay. So here post controller will become put controller, post will become put, submit data will become update data. So we are going to update the data. So here we are having label name, email, submit. Let us keep them as it is, but let us add one more attribute, one more component called as ID. So we want to add ID also. Okay. So let us add one more label, then BR tag. So let us go with this one label. So I'll go with ID. So input type is equal to text user dot ID required. So we have added one more component, that is we are adding ID, name, email, and type. Okay. Then we are having the same thing. ng if message, then display it in blue color, otherwise display nothing. Then let us come to post controller. We have changed it to put controller. So let us change this post controller to put controller. Then we have this update data. Instead of submit data, we are going to have update data. So now let us concentrate on the script. Okay. So here we are having function dollar scope HTTP. That's okay. That's great. So dollar scope dot message. So before this, let us clear the scope dot user. Okay. So add one more dollar. So dollar scope dot user is equal to no users as of now. So just a second. So dollar scope dot user is equal to empty parenthesis. So there is no user at all. So we are having dollar scope dot message, then dollar scope dot update data is equal to function. So this is good. So here we are having JSON placeholder dot typecode dot com slash post slash. Now here we are going to update. So I'm going to give a slash over here. Okay. So here, if you concentrate, $HTTP dot post is going to become put over here. So put, sorry, caps lock is on. $HTTP dot put HTTPS JSON placeholder post slash. We are adding a slash over here. Okay. We are adding a slash. Then we want to add the ID to this one. So what we say after double quotes a plus symbol. We want to concatenate. What we want to concatenate? Dollar scope, sorry, dot user dot ID. Dollar scope dot user dot ID that we want to add along with the dollar scope user. Okay, so we are adding this particular dollar scope as well as this slash and this plus symbol with respect to post operation. We are updating. Okay, then function success response will remain same. Function response, success response will remain same. Then these things are same. Blob, we want to download actually the JSON file, so this will be remaining same. So here post response, post data saved will be converted into put response. Okay, so put data updated to put underscore response.json. So here the scope dot may fail to submit the data will become update the data. So the remaining program is same as it is. There is no other changes apart from these changes. So let us save the code, save Control S, then let us load the code on browser. Okay. So let us reload the page. So we got new thing is ID. So form validation.html. So write one ID. So I'm writing 100 as the ID, name, same thing, Dr. Muhammad Ali Sheikh, then email ali@sru.edu.in. Okay. Then click on submit button. Okay, you can see here post response at the right hand side. We got the page downloaded. So then if you want to view this one, post. Okay, we didn't change, I think so, the name. So here you can see the put data updated to put underscore response.json. So actually we here we didn't change. Yeah, we changed put underscore response. Okay. So this is regarding put. So we got a message and the document downloaded. So now let us do the modifications with respect to delete. So delete, so doc type, my app will remain same, no change. Our CDN will remain same as it is. So put controller becomes delete. Delete controller, so here put becomes delete request example. So update data will change to delete data. So here we are having a label input type is equal to text, ng model is equal to user dot id. So here we are going to change this to input type is equal to number, such that we can enter something such that we can delete that particular value from the user data set. Okay, so we are going to do the modification label here. ID will become enter ID. Enter ID. So let me press enter. Here we are modifying enter ID. So this label input type is equal to instead of text, we are going to enter number. We want the user to only enter number such that no characters are allowed to be entered. So ng model user.id, we are going to change it to ID to delete. Okay. So ID to delete. ID to delete. And that is a compulsory one. So required, then this label is completed. So BR tag, we want to submit, we want to add a submit button to this one. Okay. So let us remove the rest of the components. So let us add button, type is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. So we don't require a form tag even over here. So let us remove delete data. Let me copy this one. We don't require a form tag. So we are having h2 delete request by HTML. Then we have a label. Then we have a button. Button type is equal to submit. Then we have this message ng hyphen click. We want to add ng hyphen click is equal to the method that we copied delete data to be written. Okay. So we want to delete. So instead of submit, we write delete. So this form is not required. The same thing. So message remains same. Okay, you can change blue to red or green, whatever it is. So this ends our user interface. This ends our user interface. Now let us concentrate on the script. Okay, so here we don't have put controller, we have delete controller. So let me copy this one. So put controller is changed to delete controller. That is the first modification that we are going to do over here. Okay. So here we are going to have angular.module my app without any instance. The same, there is no change here. Then we have app.controller, delete controller, function $scope, comma, HTTP, same thing. So here what we are going to do is we are going to use scope dot id to delete. This is what we have written, id to delete. Yeah. Let me copy this one. So scope dot id to delete is equal to null. We are going to write here scope dot id to delete is equal to null. Means there is no value to be deleted as of now. We are going to assign a null value. Then we have the same thing, $scope dot message will remain same. So here we don't have update data, so we are having delete data. So update data will become delete data. So let me copy this delete data over here, paste it over here. So delete data is equal to function. Okay, delete data is equal to function. So here we are having same JSON placeholder dot type code post plus scope dot. Here we are having user ID. We are going to have ID to delete. This one we are going to copy and we are going to remove this one. Scope dot ID to delete. Okay, scope dot ID to delete, comma. We have, then we don't require the scope dot user. Simply one ID to delete is sufficient. Then dot, then the function that we want to display when it is success is response. Okay, same thing. So here constant data is equal to JSON dot stringify response data null 4 spaces, same thing. Then we have blob application JSON, same thing. And oh, just a second, yeah. And we are going to create a file. We are going to download the object URL. Then we are going to have here, instead of post response, we have delete response. Delete response, then the same thing, link click, same thing. So here delete response saved to. Okay, delete saved to. Here we will be having the same thing, delete response dot JSON file. Okay, then the same thing, comma will remain same. Then here function fail to delete data. Fail to delete the data. The rest is same. Okay. So these are the modifications that we need to do in order to implement this $HTTP for post operation. Okay. So let us go to our browser, reload the page. So the content has been modified. Delete request example we got in H1 enter ID. Previously, I have given 100, so I'll give the same 100 as of now. Then I'm pressing the delete button. So when I press the delete button, yeah, we got here delete response. See the size 17 bytes. Earlier it was 85 bytes. Okay, delete response.json file. Then here we have got the message as delete response saved to delete underscore response.json. So this is regarding our delete operation in $request. By this, the $request concept is over. Now let us move ahead to the next concept, that is AngularJS $Q service. AngularJS $Q service. So this $Q service is used to create promises. Okay, it is used to create a promise uh, message, a promise message, where $Q service in AngularJS is a utility service that helps and managing asynchronous operations using promises. So a promise represents a value that may be available now, or maybe in near future, or never. We don't know. Okay, the value may be available, the value may be, we are predicting that the value may come in near future, or there is a chance that that value may not come. Okay, with $Q you can handle asynchronous tasks like HTTP requests or timers or any other operations such that, okay, like that may take time to complete. Okay, generally these will are depending on some external source or external file, etc., or a timer. It may take some time to complete in a clean and manageable way. Okay, so this is regarding $Q service. You can create a promise using $Q.defer. There is a method called as $Q.defer, which provides a deferred object. The deferred object has a resolve, in brackets, whatever the value to resolve the promise. Reject, there must be a reason. So that reason we need to provide to reject the promise, or a promise object to return to a caller. So this is regarding $Q service, and there is a method associated with one. So here this one is for timeout that we are going to see next. So let us go directly into the coding part related. So let us start the code. So doc type zoom this a little bit. Yeah. Doc type HTML, then HTML, add, add, so title, title, dollar, dollar Q, dollar Q, implementation. Okay. So let us also have that CDN. So let me copy the CDN for you. So we have a script tag in that we have the src API Angular min.js. So this is our CDN that we have copied earlier in the program. The same thing is available here for us. So let us start the body tag after head tag. So body, let me close the body for you. So, let's scroll up. So now let us start the body part. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So body will be having the concept called as ng app. So we are saying that it is a ng app. So I want to give the name as Q service app. Okay. The ng app name that I'm going to prefer is NQ service app. Okay. So now let us take a div that is going to be considered as the main div. So let me copy this div, close the div. So now let us make this div as the main component. Okay. So we say ng hyphen controller is equal to, now let us give the name for this controller as main controller. Main controller. So in this, we want to display the information that we want to keep one button. Whenever we press that button, some data has to be fetched and we have to display a message. So that is what is our intention. So in this div, let us write the button tag. Okay. So button ng hyphen click is equal to fetch data. So we want to call this function whenever the button is pressed. So let me close the button. So fetch data for me, then close the button tag. So this is the button tag. Whenever we press this button, the fetch data function must be executed. And once that is executed, we need to display a message. So we will be taking one paragraph tag. Okay. So paragraph tag. So here let us display a message. So close the paragraph tag /p. So this is our controller part that we are going to implement. Okay. Next, let us write the script. So let me close the script event /script. So let us write the script. Okay. So here we have variable app is equal to Angular dot module. So the name of the module is that we have given over here is Q service app. So let me copy this Q service app for you. So Q service app, and there are no dependencies, so we'll write nothing. So this is regarding variable app. Okay. So we don't have any dependencies, so we keep empty brackets as we have seen earlier. So now let us write app.controller is equal to main controller that we have selected. So here we have given as main controller. So we'll copy that main controller over here. So this is the controller that we are having, which we are going to make call using a function. So function, so in this function we have dollar scope by default that we have seen earlier. Here we are going to have one advancement, that is enhancement. So we provide here dollar $q. So this is what is very important in with respect to this program. Okay, dollar scope will be providing us a scope, then dollar $q. Then we provide one more column called as a data service. Okay, we are going to provide one more attribute called as data service. So let us open and close the flower bracket. So in this function, what we are going to do over here is we are going to display a message. So click the button to fetch the data. Okay. So we write here dollar scope dot message is equal to in double quote semicolon. Click the button to fetch the data. So this is what the information we want to pass. Okay. Then let us write dollar scope dot fetch data. Dollar scope dot fetch data is the function that we are writing as a function call whenever the button is pressed. So I'll be taking this dollar scope dot fetch data, which is a function. So we write it as a equal to function. Okay. So whenever this function is pressed, we need to press a, we need to send a message. So whenever this function is pressed or called, we write here dollar scope dot message is equal to, so what we do here is we are going to simply write fetching data. Okay, fetching data dot dot dot. That's nothing more than that. Just we are displaying that information dollar scope dot message. Then if suppose there is any issue, okay, if there is any issue with this fetching data, so we need to catch that one. Okay, so we need to catch that one. So what we write here is we write dot catch. So this is a catch method with respect to like try and catch methods are there. So same thing here. So we write here function. So error, whenever we get an error for this particular function, so we call this, yeah. Now here we write the code relevant to catch function. So here what we write here, dollar scope dot message is equal to, so whatever the error we got, so we write here in double quotes, error plus, so we are concatenating over here error. Okay, so whatever the error we get from here will be copied over here, and we are going to give error colon. So we are going to give one message. Okay, plus error, nothing more than that. So here we keep a semicolon, that is the end of the catch function. I hope you understood. With this particular fetch data, if we get any error, so that error will be displayed over here. This is something like a try catch block, nothing more than that. So we'll keep a semicolon over here. Then I think we are missing one more. Yeah, data service. Yeah, this one we are missing, I think so. So we close one more. I think this is correct. This function we'll see out. Okay, so we'll see out. Then we write app.service. So let it be no issue. So we write here app.service method. So this app.service method is similar to the same thing, but here we write the implementation of the defer method, whatever the defer method that we have discussed. So here we are having this data service. So we write the code relevant to this data service. So app.service in parenthesis, again in double quotes, sorry, in parenthesis, in double quotes, we write this data service method. Okay. So data service is a function. So we write here function. So in this function, what we are going to pass is dollar $q as well as dollar timeout. Dollar $q, then dollar timeout. Okay. So we open and so this is the function that we write relevant to this one, app.service. So what we say is here is we need to use this as one more function. So we write here this dot get data. This dot get data. So this is nothing but a function. So we write it as equal to function So this function will be called based on the timeout as well as the queue service. Okay. So here we write variable defer this dot get data. So here we write uh, variable deferred. Okay, let us take one variable. Variable deferred is equal to, so let us take deferred, deferred. One method, one variable I'm declaring as deferred method. So here we write $q dot defer. So this is the normal approach for defer, not double E. So this is the normal process. So this is also a function call. So we are calling a defer method over here, which performs the defer operation. So next, this is defer method. Yeah, within this only, we are going to have one more function call. So that is $timeout. So once the timeout is happened, what we need to do? So this is a function. Okay. So this is a function to be executed whenever there is a timeout. So we call this again. Sorry. Yeah. So whenever it is timeout, what we need to do? So we are going to write a if condition. If so, we want a random value. So we write math dot random. So this random value, if it is greater than 0.5. So generally we will be getting the range of the value between 1 and 0. Okay, 0 and 1. So if math dot random value is greater than 0.5, then we say that second, yeah. Then what we do over here is if mat.random is deferred.resolve, data fetch successfully, nothing more than that. So we write here deferred. So deferred dot resolve, resolve, resolve. Now in this resolve, we are going to specify a message. So we say that data fetch successfully, nothing more than that. So data fetch successfully. So if this is not the case, so if we get less than 0.5 or equal to 0.5, okay, so what we need to do over here? So have we kept a semicolon? Let us keep one semicolon over here. Yeah, semicolon. Okay, so just let me keep it over here. Yeah, this will be somewhat fine. So else, we write a else part. So means that we didn't got more than 0.5. Didn't got the value as 0.5. Means random number, nothing more than that. We are just working on a random number. So we write deferred dot. So we want to reject that one. Reject is a method deferred dot reject. So failed to fetch the data. Failed to the data. If the value is greater than 0.5, then we got success. Otherwise, we got failure. This is what we are saying. So here we close the flower bracket with else part. Then we have here comma 2000. So please wait for 2 seconds. This is what we are saying. Okay. Comma 2000 means we are saying please wait. Then after this, we need to return deferred dot promise. So we need to return the deferred dot promise. So this is normal approach. Just sorry. So this is the normal approach. You need to mug up this little bit of the program. So here we keep a semicolon, then here we keep a semicolon. So this is end of the program, what we are taking. Okay. So let us remove the unwanted spaces. So we got body HTML. So let us save this program. File, save as. So on desktop, I am saving this as in double quote qqq.html. Okay, so let me see where is this qqq.html. Just a second. Let me share the screen for you. Okay, So here I got Q. So I'll open this one with Google Chrome. So $Q service in AngularJS, fetch the data, fetching data we are getting here, fetch error failed to fetch the data. Okay, so it is changing after 2 seconds. So once again, you can see when we press this one, fetch the data, fetching data we got after 2 seconds, it is saying error failed to fetch the data. So this was our intention to implement this particular program. So I hope you understood it. So stop recording. So the next one is the $timeout function. $timeout function. So what it does, it is a digest cycle integration. It ensures that the scope variables are updated and reflected in the view. So it is simplified code, a clean and structured way to use delays in AngularJS applications. Suppose if you want to have some delay, so I want to stop the program execution for 3 seconds or 1 second or 5 seconds. So to avoid the buffering concept, if you want to delay, so you can use this timeout concept. So this is promise based that returns a promise that can be resolved or cancelled after a given specific amount of time. So the timeout function already we used in the previous program. So let us see where we have used. So $scope timeout. See here, we have used in our previous program. Okay. So here we are using the $timeout function where we are generating a random number. So if it is greater than 0.5, we are displaying data fetched successfully, else we are displaying that it has failed. Okay. So the same thing regarding $timeout function. So the next one is $interval service in AngularJS. So here we have a digest cycle integration that automatically updates the view when the scope variables are modified. So the same thing, promise based, everything is same. So interval is the one which is specified for a given amount of time. So here 2000 represents that we are waiting for 2 seconds or 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. No, 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds are over, this method is going to get executed. So this is what we say. Okay. So this is what is the $interval service that we have in AngularJS. So the next one is $window service in AngularJS. So here we are having one particular div or a window or a form, anything that we want to display. Okay. So $window can be mocked in test, unlike the native window object is concerned. So it is a dependency injection that makes it easier to manage and inject the controller services or directives. So it encapsulates by ensuring that the AngularJS can monitor and synchronize changes effectively. So here we have this $window service. If you can see here at the bottom, we are having this window controller. Just a second. This window controller that we have. So arrow options. No. Is a pointer. Yeah. So here you can see window controller. Okay. So this is what we say $window service in AngularJS. So like this, we can write any controller, not only window controller. So in our program, we have written here main controller. Okay. So this is one side sort of $window controller where we are going to implement the code. Okay. So the same thing. So this is mainly used for testability, and in other words, it is this dependency injection. So let us see the next one. So here we are having document service, document controller. Yeah. The next and the last concept is log service. Okay. So if you want to create a log file, then in the place of here we wrote main controller, we write here log controller. And here we write $scope gamma log. So this is the information that we want to create and store in the form of a log file. So $log, this is the general log message. log info, log warning, log error, log debug. So a log file, this information is stored like a information or warning or error or debugging information. So this only describes, in other words, this is the meta tag that is available. Okay. So it simply is used for enhancing the debugging. It provides a structured way to output the debug information during development. It consists of logging, offers a standardized API for logging messages, dependency injection that makes it easy to inject and use across controllers, services, and directives. So it is configurable output that can be disabled in production using dog log provider, $log provider. So that's it in this video. So we have covered almost everything except the log files in this particular program. So based on this code, you can upgrade, or you can, what do you say, you can re-code this particular piece of code. Okay. You can update the code by using this particular concept. Log.debug, $log.error, $log.warning, $log.info, and $log.log. All the very best. Let's stop this video here.